People in Kiba, this Naruto lies flat introduction. www.zhaozuyuan.com Huiying Youth Love Boutique, Kiba Love Guide. Youth's love is like a summer wildfire, hot and boiling. Half of the souls, the girls who dominate, those beautiful and charming girls, pure love shines like stars. This time, Naruto, whose soul pierced through, no longer hesitated about his background, ignored those strange gazes, and bound the lying flat system. Option 1. Pursue Sakura. Reward. S.level ninjutsu. Option 2. Pursue Hinata, avoid 10 years of detours. Reward. Nine-tailed recognition, can freely use nine-tailed chakras, is that still worth considering? Naruto decisively chose Hinata. Fishing by the Naruto River, water and trees suddenly appear. Shuimu. Naruto, do you crave power? Option 1. Refuse Shuemu's invitation and let him roll away, don't startle your nest. Reward. Full-level fishing skills. Option 2. Accept Shuemu's invitation and steal the Book of Seals. Reward. Rebirth of Dirt, incomplete, Naruto. Can you still hesitate? Third generation. Where there are wooden leaves, there will be a fire burning, and the flames will shine on the village, growing new sprouts. Naruto. 6. https://www.zayashuan.com. Chapter 1. Fox Demon. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Bangzi rang 3 times, and Zhang opened his eyes. My street, in a narrow apartment. At first glance, it was a dimness, and on a midsummer night, the wind chimes on the balcony were blown by the wind, making a lonely sound. A strange soul descended upon Kiba and occupied Naruto's body. Ding! The lying flat system is loading. 7%, Zhang had a severe headache, and his eyes were covered in a blurry blood red. Can't you be blind? Pain. Hiss. Just playing a game, as for sudden death. How do I go to work tomorrow? I will be interning and becoming a regular soon, and I'm seeing the end of it. The pain slowly dissipated, and Zhang opened his eyes. Then, in the dim light, he saw a strange and chaotic room. The air was filled with a faint odor, and the walls were adorned with old and moldy pale yellow wallpaper. Clothes and books were scattered haphazardly on the wooden floor. Zhang seemed to realize something and looked down at his hand. With a slight dilation of the pupils, Zhang fell backwards. Did my hand shrink? System loading progress 13%, a mechanical synthesis sound rang out in Zhang mind, and fragments of memory pierced into his mind, causing him to roll on the bed with a painful cry. There were constant sounds like ants drilling into his ears, and the pain almost made him faint. Is that the child, right? How disgusting. I told you not to play with him, who knows what that monster will do. It was the fox demon that caused the death of the 4th generation fire shadow. Naruto, do you have the will of fire? Lord Huiying is the most powerful person in the village, who protects our existence. Naruto, you also need to work hard to become Hokage. Huiying. Are you joking? Zhang had a splitting headache. Surrounded by darkness, there are 2 small holes not far away. He stumbled over and used all his strength to stick his eyes up, only to find that there were people of all kinds outside. With contempt, indifference, and bad luck in his eyes. Get out of here. You monster. I won't sell it to you. Get lost. Why not die? How can you still have the courage to live in this world? You monster. Cold emotions mixed with pain surged into Zhang heart, almost suffocating in this emotion. He flipped over and gritted his teeth, vigorously pounding his chest, only to catch his breath. System loading progress 17%, suddenly opening his eyes, Zhang lay in bed and noticed the panel slowly emerging in front of him. He read novels and played games a lot, and roughly understood the situation in front of him. He crossed over and became the Naruto vortex in Naruto. At present, I am still in the stage of ninja school and am about to face the next ninja graduation exam. He felt relieved that the system unique to foreigners was also fully equipped when traveling back and forth. It seems to be still loading. What system is it? Anyway, having a system is better than not having one. Looking at the night outside the window, Zhongming didn't have the heart to sleep anymore. He got out of bed and groped to turn on the room light. With a click, the bright light dispelled the unease in his heart. In the future, it will be Naruto Vortex. Ignoring the messy room and the table emitting a strange odor. No one can blame a painless orphan for not tidying up his room. After all, there is no one to scold him. Naruto sat on the table, took out a pen and paper, and tried to write a line of characters, automatically mastering the cherry blossom script. But Naruto can also understand. He tried to say a sentence, and there seemed to be several options for the language he spoke. He can switch back and forth between 3 or 4 languages, although it's not very useful in this world, as long as he knows Sakura language. He peeled off his clothes and couldn't see the seal on his belly about the 9 tails. This is a bit troublesome, double 4-symbol sealing. The 9-tailed chakra, which had escaped from the gap revealed by the seal, flowed through his 8 extraordinary meridians and finally transformed into a normal blue chakra. Although the 9-tailed chakra can be temporarily used by him, it is not a long-term solution. After thinking for a while, Naruto wrote down his cultivation plan on paper. In this world, it is natural for powerful individuals to have a say. Being as strong as possible can also be helpful for future growth. Then came life. Naruto scratched his head, stood up, and walked to the front of the dressing mirror. Looking at his young face in the mirror, he gritted his teeth and showed a big smile. Damn it, Hokage. Who wants to be that kind of thing, protecting those who despise themselves? Dream it, why don't we all die? Weak soul, garbage. He vented all the negative emotions he had accumulated in his heart, and in an instant, his whole body felt much more relaxed. Becoming a Hokage or something is okay, but it's necessary to live a better life. What companions, villages, and the will of fire all die, and live to enjoy. After the system is loaded, ye can walk horizontally in the village. While humming a song, Naruto wrote down his plan for Nishin practice on paper. Be the most beautiful kid in the village. System loading progress 34%, the next day, it was bright daylight. After waking up early, the first thing Naruto does when he opens his eyes is to call up the panel to check the system loading progress. This damn loading speed is like a 2G network, it's really annoying. System loading progress 79%, I yawned and Naruto didn't sleep much last night. Watching the day break, I had to procrastinate and wake up to wash up. Thinking about having a few more ninja theory classes in the morning, find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com and lie down in the classroom to catch up. Anyway, Naruto in the eyes of his classmates has always been like this, and no one cares about an ominous person. After washing up, it took another hour to tidy up the room. When choosing the clothes before going out, Naruto made a mistake. I used to dress up like a spirited young man, and wearing a big coat in summer was also hot. After hesitating for a moment, Naruto chose a daily black short-sleeved outfit paired with brown shorts, without taking the goggles from the table. He's not holding back yet, he doesn't have any leaves to protect his forehead. I'm out, shouted the empty room and no one answered, but he didn't care and slammed the door shut. He lives in an old apartment building on my street, and when he goes downstairs, he has to detour through the winding alleys and exit. Looking at the person standing in the sunlight, Naruto's footsteps paused for a moment. Until he looked at the displeasure in their eyes, Naruto shrugged nonchalantly and silently walked through the crowd with his head down. The expression on the villagers' faces was cold and indifferent, and their eyes tilted low as they stopped and suddenly closed over Naruto. System loading progress 87%, Ninja School, Lomaru casually swept back in the crowd and then seemed to have seen something. Pushed Ding Ci next to him and gestured in a direction for him to look over. Isn't that Naruto? Ding Ji stopped eating potato chips. Did someone hit him on the way again? It should be. Lomaru showed a pair of dead fish eyes. Those people are quite outrageous. Ding Ci threw the last potato chip into his mouth and bit it with a click. The two of them swaggered towards the crowd, relying on the advantage of Ding Ci's round figure. No matter how strong the bully Naruto was, he dared not offend the pig, deer, and butterfly tribes. Chapter 2. Sunlight. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ah, it's the Wood and the others. A power group led by 3 teenagers blocked Naruto's path, and one of the shorter teenagers pushed and pushed him. Monster, I heard your dream is to be a Hokage. Maru and Ding Ci also smoothly squeezed into the crowd and happened to hear the person's question. They thought Naruto would refute and loudly tell them that he was the man who wanted to become Hokage. However, Naruto, appeared unusually quiet. The sunlight passed through the gate of the ninja school and created a yin-yang line under his feet. Naruto was exposed to the sunlight, his blonde hair seeming to lose its former sharpness, but he didn't panic or dodge, his gaze fixed on the person. The childishness on my body faded away and crushed into indifference. Like a different person, everything from the past was like ashes, blown clean in the summer breeze. Your gaze is really disgusting. If I look at you again, I'll beat you up. System loading progress 99%, another person stepped forward and pushed Naruto, causing him to take a few steps back involuntarily. The people around were just accustomed to watching and whispering, without any intention of stopping them. Damn it, those guys from the small family are bullying people too much. Ding Ci was so angry that he stepped forward to stop them. Lomaru sighed and said, "It's really troublesome," and slowly walked towards Naruto. System loading progress 100%, option 1. Push down the 3 people in front of you and loudly tell them that your dream is to become a stronger Hokage than the 4th generation. Reward. Mastery of 3-body technique. Option 2. Deny the dream of becoming a Hokage and do not engage in entanglement. Reward. The side effects of chakra disorder in the body disappear. Naruto saw the panel, but there was no response from the people around him. It was preliminarily determined that only he could see the content on the panel, and he then focused his attention on the options with peace of mind. 3-body technique is an important graduation assessment item for ninja schools, and if mastered, one can definitely graduate smoothly. It is also due to the relationship between the 9-tailed chakra that the chakra in the body is disrupted, making it impossible to use ninjutsu normally. One is a shortcut, directly solving the current graduation problem. The other is to fundamentally solve the problem of chakra disorder. Even though he still needs to spend time practicing the 3-body technique afterwards, it is still cost-effective. That. Naruto, Hinata, who appeared from somewhere, timidly said. "Ha! What are you talking about? I can't hear you clearly." The tall boy named Saimu seemed to have missed what Hinata said and looked straight at Naruto. As for Hinata, Seiki ignored her directly. Naruto-jun, he didn't do anything wrong. Hinata, although somewhat afraid, still mustered the courage to say. "What are you talking nonsense about? It's disgusting." Kai-mu ignored Hinata and didn't want to hear anyone speak. His attitude can be described as quite crude. "I didn't want to be Hokage. I'm not as childish as you guys." "That's your ridiculous dream, right?" Naruto said, "But it's also quite sad. With your current strength, you may not even be ninjas in the future." Naruto fiercely pushed the leading wooden object and said mercilessly. "Are you good at playing Hokage? Is there anyone in your family? You can't do it. Neither can they." "What are you talking about?" Kiki took a step back and looked at Naruto with a slight stutter. Naruto's gaze remained sharp, staring straight at the leader, Saki. People can change, wood can change. Go back and ask your father, believe it or not, if I burn down your house tomorrow, nothing will happen. Use your muscular brain to think carefully. What can be done and what cannot be done? Pooh. What's going on? Naruto spat on the boy's face and left with a gloomy expression. Anyway, skipping classes hasn't happened once or twice, it's just that today was a fair and honest day of skipping classes. Kaimu was stunned, recalling Naruto's previous ferocious tone, and dared not say a word. You're talking nonsense. We don't have any. The shy and angry voices of the two came from behind, and Naruto's words seemed to poke their pain. A young man who wants to become Hokage feels insecure and sensitive in his heart. Their dreams were pulled naked in the sunlight, making them jump uncontrollably. Reward successfully delegated. After a mechanical warning sound, Naruto only felt a refreshing sensation in his body, as if he had taken a sip of ice water on a hot day. He tried to feel the chakra flow inside his body. It really made him feel the direction of the chakra flow, and the chakra, which used to have almost no resonance, became active. It was like the ice spring water suddenly boiling, and every cell in the body was nourished by chakra, bringing a sense of comfort throughout the body. This made Naruto couldn't help but shout and secretly let out a satisfying sound. Lumaru, did my ear break just now? Ding Ci tugged at Lumaru's clothes and asked as he looked at Naruto's departing figure. Naruto said he didn't want to become Hokage anymore. Isn't that his dream? Why suddenly? Who knows? Lumaru Shiyu's eyes twitched and he said nonchalantly, that guy was too scary just now. Besides, what's good about being a Hokage? I'm so busy all day that I don't even have time to daydream. Don't say those words anymore, Naruto is gone, Ding Ci said. If he misses class and is discovered by teacher Irika, he will be miserable. Hinata sat in an inconspicuous corner of the crowd, looking at Naruto's departure with a tangled expression on his face. The class is about to start, but she is afraid that Naruto will have an accident. Naruto, is it very painful now? Thinking so, Hinata clenched her small hand. At this moment, she really wants to catch up, but she doesn't have the courage. Just as I stepped forward and worked hard to break free, I had already exhausted all my courage. Now, in front of so many people the ninja school without Naruto appeared particularly calm, and Irika, who learned that Naruto had skipped school this morning, got angry as usual. No one was holding a paint bucket to make a fuss, and no one was making a big fuss in the ninja school. Everything seemed very harmonious. Until sunset, Irika did not find any trace of Naruto on Hokage. The most mischievous child in the class seems to have evaporated from the mortal world. Just as Irika was feeling a bit flustered, a soft and sticky voice suddenly rang out from zhaoshuyuan.com. Teacher Irika. Hinata. Why are you here? Irika turned his head and paused slightly. The girl stood timidly in the orange sunset, lowered her head and dared not look at him. Her face turned red, as if she was doing something bad and being caught. I'm looking for Naruto. The girl's voice was as low as a mosquito's. Naruto hasn't been attending class all day. I'm worried. Looking at Hinata's face, which was about to bleed, Irika smiled kindly and said. Shao Hinata is also worried about Naruto, right? It's okay, the teacher will be responsible for finding him. It's already late now, you'd better go home first, otherwise Rizu adults will worry about you. No. Hinata mustered up his courage and said loudly, Teacher Irika, I also want to go find Naruto with you. Irika's heart was touched, and his smile froze. He looked at the sky and said gently. Okay, we can only look for half an hour more. If we can't find it, Hinata promised the teacher that he must go home. Thank you, Teacher Irika. Hinata nodded excitedly. Ah. Are you looking for me? Naruto looked up at the two of them in confusion, wondering why Hinata was also there. "Why are you also there, Hinata?" Naruto asked unexpectedly. Hinata lowered her head. "I asked Hinata to help me find it," Iruka said in a voice. "I think Hinata should know where Naruto is." "That's right." Naruto scratched his head. Did Teacher Iruka come here because he skipped school? Chapter 3. Lost in One Sound of Hinata Sauce. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "I guess so." Iruka hesitated for a moment and then asked as gently as possible, "But the teacher wants to hear more about why you gave up your dream." "There's no reason, that kind of thing is not my dream." Naruto shrugged. "Teacher Iruka said that Hokage is the strongest presence in the village, right?" "Yes, I did say that," Iruka nodded. "They're right, I'm just a crane tail, and I can't possibly become a Hokage, can I?" Naruto asked in response. "You can't say that, as long as Naruto is willing to work hard." Iruka was also a bit hesitant. He probably knew Naruto's situation, but due to the ban of the third generation, he couldn't speak clearly. Naruto tilted his head and looked at Iruka with a puzzled expression. "Teacher Iruka, I don't want to become Hokage anymore. I want to change my dream to something less distant." "What dream?" Iruka's forehead oozed a cold sweat, and he didn't even know why he was surrounded by a child's words. "Probably finding a virtuous wife to marry or something, like an ordinary adult," Naruto scratched his head and said. Iruka was somewhat surprised and also somewhat frightened. For Naruto, ordinary dreams are even more unattainable. Naruto cannot get married and have children in an ordinary way. These words were all stuck in Iruka's throat, and the thought of those cold eyes and ostracism being directed towards an orphan made Iruka feel a bit uncomfortable in his heart. Anyway, Naruto sealed the 9 tails inside his body, protecting the people in the village. Naruto has made contributions and will always become a pillar of strength, but he will face the disapproval of the villagers. Iruka's parents both died in the 9 Tails rebellion, but Iruka couldn't hate the young man in front of him who had no father or mother. It's not him who is wrong, it's Joe. Naruto was born into a container filled with 9 tails, and has lived to this day despite being hated and despised by others. Suddenly, Iruka realized that Naruto might have grown up and understood the disgust and hatred in the eyes of the villagers. When this idea formed in his mind, Iruka suddenly felt a chill in his spine. Once the seeds of hatred are planted in Renjuli's heart, the consequences are unimaginable. Iruka's eyes lit up, and when he looked again, Naruto still had that brilliant smile on his face. "Naruto, your dream. What's wrong?" "It's great, isn't it? Teacher Iruka." Naruto still smiled brightly. "Teacher Iruka, you're so old and don't have a girlfriend. You must have a lot of savings, right?" "Ah." Iruka's mentality exploded upon hearing this, and he clenched his fists and shouted, "Naruto! Help!" Naruto fled in response. When the two of them were frolicking, Hinata beside them blushed uncontrollably and was so embarrassed that he froze. Small hands intertwined, murmuring something in their mouths. "All right, let's call it a day." Iruka sternly scolded, "Remember to go to school tomorrow." Naruto. "Yes, Teacher Iruka." Naruto lowered his head and looked like he was being taught. Coincidentally, both of them shifted their gaze to Hinata, who lowered his head and remained silent on the side. Hinata let out a cry and her face quickly turned red again. "Naruto, you can go home on your own." "Teacher, I'll send Hinata back home first." "Are you okay alone?" Iruka said, holding her forehead. Naruto was about to respond and the panel popped out again without any warning. Option 1. Pursue Sakura. Reward. S.level ninjutsu. Option 2. Pursue a promising future and avoid 10 years of detours. Reward. 9-tailed recognition, can be freely used with 9-tailed chakras, note. Option 1 requires a random S.level ninjutsu master, with a certain probability of obtaining rare wooden escape ninjutsu, and Option 2 is a progress reward that will be released synchronously with the level of strategy. Can this basically give up thinking? The power of the Nine Tails cannot be compared to an S.level ninjutsu. Furthermore, even if there were no rewards, let him choose one person from Sakura and Hinata as his pursuit object. Naruto would not hesitate to choose Hinata, even if it's not for anything else. They have to let their children eat a soft one in the future, right? Grade is justice. Choose the second one. The task has been successfully initiated, please prioritize completion, Teacher Irika. Naruto suddenly interrupted, let me take Hinata back home. Ah. Hinata blushed to the bottom of her ear upon hearing the sound and couldn't help but turn around. Irika looked at Naruto with some confusion. I know where Hinata's home is, and I have also sent it before, Naruto explained with a smile. Teacher Irika, your delivery didn't go smoothly, was it too troublesome? This. Irika hesitated a bit, but when he thought of the cold Hinata tribe, he still agreed. Okay, Naruto, you need to protect Hinata well and fulfill your duty as a man. Irika smiled and said. I will take good care of Hinata. Naruto responded with a bright smile. After Irika left, Naruto patted Hinata's shoulder. The latter was startled, tears swirling in his eyes. It's okay, I'll take you home with Hinata, Naruto said with a gentle smile and a softer voice. Thank you, Ming. Naruto. Hinata's voice was very low. Then give me your hand. Hinata sauce. Why? Why? Hinata was startled and blushed, stuttering as she spoke. It's dangerous for a girl to walk alone at night, isn't it? It would be more reassuring to hold hands with ordinary friends at Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, wouldn't it? Although the words are like this. Naruto Jun's hand. Hinata hesitated a bit. What's wrong? Will it be very troublesome? Sorry. No. I won't do it. Hinata shook her head like a tambourine, carefully handing her hand out, her heart pounding. Until the temperature of the other palm reached him, Hinata's heart seemed to be filled with a warm current, and his restless emotions instantly calmed down. Naruto Jun did not deceive me, and indeed he is more at ease. But is this already considered holding hands? What are you really thinking? Naruto Jun didn't even think about that. Looking ahead at Naruto, who was half ahead of him, Hinata suddenly felt flustered. Naruto Jun is really a very gentle person in his bones. Naruto, who was leading Hinata ahead, was completely unaware of Hinata's thoughts behind him. He felt the nine-tailed chakras overflowing from his body constantly circulating in his meridians, and his heart couldn't help but be filled with joy. Sure enough, it was successful. Naruto brought Hinata to the gate of Hinata's residence and stopped in his tracks. If necessary, the Hinata clan did not welcome outsiders, let alone him. Thank you for bringing me back, Naruto Jun. Hinata bowed to Naruto with red ears, her slender neck white, greasy, and red. I should thank you, no matter how you say Hinata, you're also looking for me. Naruto waved to Hinata, have a good night's sleep, Hinata sauce. After speaking, Naruto turned around and ran away. Running in the opposite direction, towards the darkness in the distance. Hinata lost herself amidst the sound of Hinata sauce and whispered, holding onto the wooden door. See you tomorrow, Naruto Jun. Chapter 4. Not Being a Son of Man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With a creak, the door of the apartment was opened from outside. The dim yellow corridor lights shot into the foyer like blades, and Naruto's shadow was stretched out, casting on the shoe cabinet like a ferocious monster. Lower your head to change shoes and turn on the lights. Naruto stood on the balcony blowing, while the instant noodles were placed on a small table behind him, emitting heat. He originally wanted to buy some vegetables, but it was too late and he was scolded by others. If there were more people, or if Naruto had gone earlier, perhaps the boss wouldn't have shown such a gloomy expression on his face. He is not sure if there are any secret forces monitoring him now, and whether the words spoken during the day will reach the ears of the third Hokage. After all, human pillar strength is the strongest weapon in the village. Once there is a change in attitude towards the village, it is very likely that something terrible will happen. But Naruto didn't care, he didn't want to retaliate against the village. He didn't even have any dark thoughts in his heart, he just wanted to lie flat. Since the power of the system is greater than that of the Nine Tails, and may even be greater than any other force in the world, why not take a simple path? In order to gain everyone's recognition, even if one desperately wants to be a Hokage, protecting those who have discriminated against and bullied oneself is to gain their recognition. This is also ridiculous. People live in this world to showcase their own value, not to gain value from others. Walking on the road, being looked at with disdainful eyes, feeling insecure and sensitive, can make one feel guilty and disappointed. This is the pleasing personality, hoping to be recognized and accepted by others. The current Naruto is no longer the same as in the past. He knows that a kind-hearted person can only be looked down upon by others. There is no need to gain recognition from others, learn to reconcile with oneself. Be a down-to-earth ninja and enrich your life. It's them who are wrong, those who want to benefit from Joe but don't want to pay the price. Named protection, in fact PUA. Hokage is not Naruto's dream, it is the dream of 3 generations of apes flying and sun slaying, and it is the wild hope of high-level officials. They hope that Naruto will serve the village like a 4th generation. The gentle moonlight of summer nights envelopes the leaves of wood. The night breeze brushed over the balcony, blowing Naruto's hair in front of his forehead, and his gaze slowly became clear. He doesn't want to be a Hokage, nor does he want to be recognized. He only wants to live secular life and become stronger. The instant noodles were a bit cold, but Naruto ate them without changing his expression. After washing up, he lay on the bed and slowly closed his eyes. The next day. Shortly after Naruto left, he ran into a bear child wearing a white hat and a blue scarf on the road. He was either someone else or the grandson of the 3rd generation Hokage, Emperor Taisun Kayamaru. Kayamaru was standing by the wall wearing a camouflage cloth when he saw Naruto staring at him, so he shouted wildly. "What are you looking at? Didn't you see me practicing ninjutsu here? My grandfather is Hokage. Hurry up and leave." Kayamaru stared at Naruto, who was scolded and stunned by himself, feeling a bit disappointed. He thought to himself that this person was no different from the others. As soon as I hear that I am the grandson of Huiying, I will definitely obey my words. However, Naruto smiled and took out several hundred taels of banknotes from his pocket, handing them to Kiba Maru with both hands. Kayamaru's face showed a disappointed expression and he waved his hand impatiently, saying, "Hurry up and leave, I don't want your money. This is your medical and nutritional expenses, you kid. You're dead." Naruto hit him directly as he spoke. Beating and cursing at the same time. Huiying's grandson is amazing. Who doesn't have a Huiying relative yet? Ninja school, Naruto sat in the back row with a pale face, yawning. No one bothered him today, but when he walked into the classroom, there were still disgusted glances scanning over him. On the podium, teacher Irika put away the lesson plan and coughed, saying, "Tomorrow is the graduation exam. In the morning, it's the review exam for transformation techniques, and in the afternoon, it's the review exam for outdoor and practical classes." As soon as the words fell, the classroom suddenly became lively. Teenagers and girls whispered in unison, some were delighted while others were nervous. "Transformation technique, I'm actually good at it. Do you think I can win the transformation technique in tomorrow's graduation exam?" "I'm not sure, the exam content is randomly selected from the 3-body technique as the exam content, with a probability of about 1/3. The first place is definitely Sasuke, he has good grades in all subjects. The tail of the crane must be that person. Haha. That's right, he doesn't seem to have much brain and always likes to do some annoying things. I heard he has been delayed for 2 years and probably won't be able to finish his studies this year. Such a person, even after graduation, cannot become a ninja, can they? Wherever he goes, he always fails. It is indeed a sad and gloomy life. If he were to die, he would definitely have no face to live in this world. Irika on the podium also heard some gossip, and his face didn't look that good. But he couldn't do anything and could only knock on the table to make the whole class quiet. Everyone go outside, line up, come one by one. Amidst the dull queue, Naruto yawned again and was caught in the eyes of Lumaru, who couldn't help but ask in confusion. Where did you go last night, this guy? The instant noodles have expired and my stomach has been ruined, Naruto said. Can't you make some dishes yourself, this guy? Lumaru glanced at him, we should have the ability to make some simple dishes at our age. Don't take for granted what you can easily do, my soul is weak. Naruto bumped into Lumaru and said, at least the owner of the instant noodle shop won't give me any face. Is it troublesome to go to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com for daily grocery shopping? Upon hearing this, Lumaru was slightly taken aback and suddenly realized the white eyes Naruto usually receives. What he sees as simple in his eyes may not be as simple in Naruto anymore. Sorry, Naruto. What kind of apology are you, this guy? Naruto glanced at Lumaru without hesitation and turned his gaze to the girl with pink long hair who was taking the exam. Haruno Sakura, in reality, is even cuter than in comics, appearing very fair in the eyes of a group of girls. The crackling sound of potato chips shattered, and Dingy stood behind Lumaru, his little eyes scanning Lumaru and Naruto, capturing what had just happened. Jinfa Ino stood in front of Naruto and turned to look for Sasuke's figure. Coincidentally, he saw Naruto's gaze sweeping over Haruno Sakura, and the corner of his mouth curved. Naruto, what are you looking at? Upon hearing the sound, Naruto turned his head and saw the wild and gossipy smile on Ino's face. Sasuke doesn't like women. What? Inoue's face collapsed instantly, staring at Naruto with wide eyes, and his heart was instantly hit hard. Damn it. What are you saying? Hey. Inoue, don't get excited. Let go, Ino. Naruto will die. Ding Ci didn't have time to eat the potato chips and quickly stepped forward to argue. Let go of me. I want to bite that soul mass to death. Damn it. Inoue, who was furious, was fought by Ding Ci, desperately trying to kill Naruto, who had a low mouth in front of him. Lumaru hurriedly separated the two upon seeing the situation, and just then, the angry voice of Irika came from the classroom. Be quiet outside. Next. Uchiha Sasuke. Chapter 5. The Shackles of Fate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Uchiha Sasuke has full marks. As Irika's approval sounded, students crowded at the door and looked inside. You are truly Sasuke. That's the child from the Uchiha family, full marks. How impressive. The sound of approval kept coming, and everyone's eyes focused on the young man with a cold face. His eyebrows and eyes were cold, his nose bridge was high, and his facial lines were very clean. On both sides of the side face, there is a piercing hairstyle behind the temples, and there is a habitual distance in the eyes. Naruto was also watching Sasuke, leisurely examining his future teammate. Next, Naruto Vortex. When the name was called out, everyone started whispering to each other. While quietly discussing something, he occasionally glanced at Naruto with his spare light. The guy at the end of the crane, are you going to use your seductive technique again? Ha ha ha. That's how he was kicked out by teacher Irika last time. What a scumbag. People who use that kind of ninjutsu are so disgusting. The sound of discussion made Uchiha Sasuke, who had left, unable to help but turn around and stare in that direction. Naruto happened to enter the classroom door and turned his head to see Sasuke's gaze. The assessment time is very short, basically no more than 1 minute. Sasuke didn't leave either, so he stood still and waited. There was a moment of silence within the teacher, and Irika's voice came out with a hint of hesitation. Naruto Vortex, perfect score. Full score. Surprisingly, it's also a perfect score. The people around the door suddenly showed an unexpected expression on their faces, and the surroundings became completely silent. The person who has always been at the end of the crane surprisingly scored full marks in the exam. Even though one subject of the three-body technique does not necessarily represent the final total score, it is still a key subject in the ninjutsu lottery. If the three-body technique has a perfect score, it means graduation is stable. The door was now opened and Naruto walked out of the classroom. The gaze swept over everyone and finally stopped at Uchiha Sasuke in the distance. Sasuke's face didn't change much, he exchanged a glance with Naruto, turned around, and left. Naruto smiled but didn't take it to heart. Urju was indeed very proud. After solving the problem of Chakra's disorder, he didn't spend too much time practicing the three-body technique and was able to fully comprehend it. It may also be related to the innate talent of this body itself, after all, it is the bloodline of the Vortex clan. Mastering the three-body technique also means you don't have to be distracted by graduation exams. After the mock exam, you can leave directly, and Naruto didn't stop and walked straight out. As he passed by Hinata, Naruto remembered yesterday when Hinata helped him clear the siege, so he stopped and said thank you. I left in a hurry yesterday, so. I'm sorry, I'm only thanking you now. Thank you for helping me out, Hinata. Upon hearing Naruto call her Hinata-sauce again, Hinata's cheeks immediately visibly flushed. It seems a bit embarrassed, but also a bit happy. I didn't actually help much. Naruto-jun doesn't need to thank me specifically. Hinata, who spoke like this, was particularly cute. She was wearing a long-sleeved training suit that covered her fair arms, with short shoulder-length hair behind her ears, and her skin was as full and shiny as milk. Regardless of the description, just standing there makes it easy to associate Hinata with the dignified posture of the eldest daughter of a big family. Unfortunately, such a dignified yet slightly shy appearance is even more stunning, probably due to the so-called Miss Persona. It's nothing, thanks to Hinata-sauce, Naruto said, noticing that Hinata's expression was becoming increasingly embarrassed. It was only then that he realized that there seemed to be more gaze gathering around him, and Naruto knew in his heart that his relationship with Hinata was not yet familiar. Continuing to keep talking may bring rumors to Hinata, so he knew it was time to retreat now. I'm leaving first, Hinata-sauce. Thank you anyway. Naruto turned around and waved, slowly leaving the hallway of the ninja school. He thought to himself to go back and prepare a gift, and give it to Hinata the next time we meet, so that it won't appear too abrupt. Strategy for Chutian, recognition of Joei by 2.2%. The sudden mechanical synthesis sound in his mind startled Naruto. Nine Tails has always been a concern for him, and in the short term, obtaining the power of Nine Tails is indeed good. But Joei is just a slightly stronger chakra, in other words, a temporary force. Since it is power, it is easy to be watched by others. Whether it's Kiba who wants to use him as a weapon or various forces who want to capture the Nine Tails in the future. Naruto is a piece of meat on the chopping board, and whenever a strong person appears, they will focus on the Nine Tails in his stomach. To his heart's content, he would rather keep Joei away from him and find a new home to never get involved with him again. However, once the Nine Tails leave the body of Renjuli, Renjuli cannot live alone. Such an incredible setting gives Naruto a headache. Now that he has the system, even if Nine Tails are not in his body, Naruto can still use Nine Tails' power. So, don't get entangled with him like Nine Tails. Is that the best situation? Naruto was well aware that he possessed the 9 tails and found Shuyu on www.zhaoshuyuan.com, which was like a giant that Alan had gained an attack. At the moment of gaining power, it was no longer the wall of Maria or the towering giant that bound him, but the future that he saw symbolized fate. Fate was determined when he achieved great success, and he was destined not to break free from the shackles that made him choose to destroy the world. And Naruto is no exception, starting from obtaining the 9 tails and then moving on to the Son of Prophecy, the immortal body. Step by step, it's not that Naruto chose to save the world, nor is it that Naruto chose to be the Hokage. But it's fate. Everything is like an unbreakable shackle, a fate derived from the death of Zilai, the blood of Ningxi, and the sacrifice. He wants to lie flat, lying on that destined and unchangeable fate, living for himself. At night. By the river in the forest, a bonfire is slowly burning, and several fish are slowly roasting on the fire. A young man with blonde hair was fishing with a fishing rod hanging down, and the moonlight in the forest was as clear as water in the sky. On the shimmering water surface, occasionally the scales of fish flicker. The silent forest and cold white crescent moon are reflected on the water surface. With a rustle, a figure suddenly appeared next to Naruto, as if appearing out of thin air. Instant body technique. Naruto had already noticed a person standing beside him and suddenly turned around to look. I saw a ninja with long white hair standing in front of him. Teacher Mizuki. Naruto pretended to be surprised and asked, "How could you be here?" The person who came was Irika's good friend, Mizuki, the first scheming male of Kiba. At this moment, Mizuki was unaware that he had fallen under the surveillance of the 3rd-generation crystal ball, and smiled gently at Naruto. Naruto, do you want to become stronger? Chapter 6. Fishing Man's Crazy Joy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Naruto was stunned for a moment upon hearing this, then looked at Mizuki and blinked, asking. Teacher Shuemu, what do you mean by you? Shuemu's mental state is somewhat strange, giving people an indescribable abnormal feeling. Seems to have been hit by some kind of hallucinogen, appearing particularly evil. To be honest, even though he was mentally prepared, the moment Shuemu's face appeared still startled him greatly. Tomorrow is the graduation exam for ninja school, isn't it? Mizuki asked. Naruto nodded. Is Naruto confident of passing the exam? Mizuki squinted his eyes and looked at Naruto with a smile on his face. Well, you know me about this kind of thing, Teacher Mizuki. Naruto scratched his head, pretending to be embarrassed. Maybe graduation will be postponed again this year. Do Naruto want to become stronger? I happen to know a secret that will definitely help you pass your graduation exam smoothly. Upon hearing this, Naruto's eyelids twitched slightly. If Shuemu had known about his perfect score in the 3-body technique quiz this afternoon, he wouldn't have said this in front of him. However, I didn't see Mizuki at the ninja school all day today. He didn't know that this was normal, so he said that Shuemu didn't look for Irika, but came straight to him. So anxious, something must have happened, to the extent that Shuemu was eager to deceive himself into stealing the sealed book. But the problem is, the sealed book is like a young scheme in a village. In this regard, Naruto's heart is also speechless to the extreme. Are you starting to worry about the psychological state of Joei Juli now? Fear of human pillar power breeding hatred towards the village. Now I'm going to spend a lot of effort preparing to brainwash myself with partner recognition. Why did I go so early? Speaking of which, this village is also strange. The high-level brain circuits seem to grow in the sewer. If in order to protect the information of Ranjuli and prevent the villagers from knowing that he is the son of the 4th Hokage, what is the meaning of releasing the news of Joei? Desperately blocking the news that Naruto is the son of the 4th generation, disregarding the rumors that Naruto is a fox demon, right? It's really a double standard, a blatant drop in the bucket. Capitalists don't play like this either, they have to pay PUA instead of compensation. While allowing the villagers to target him and brainwashing him to protect the village, his face is too big. The stage has been set up, the actors are in place, and a fire will brainwashing drama targeting the nine-tailed pillar force is about to begin. As long as he nods and agrees, Shuemu will immediately notify Irika that he has stolen the sealed book, and he can indeed easily steal the sealed book. Shuemu didn't know what kind of madness he had, to the extent that he naively believed that a child could steal a sealed book that was as important as the nine tails. But looking at his eyes, he was truly convinced. Naruto didn't want to agree and had little interest in the sealed book. Anyway, he can only learn a shadow clone in a short period of time, which is not very meaningful for him who is currently surrounded by the system. And he didn't want to sneak into the set-up tear-jerking room, forcefully pretending to be moved, which was even more painful than killing him. The village has treated him this way. It is acceptable for him to protect those who treat him equally in the future, but it really makes it difficult for him to believe in saying things like protecting the village. Why? Ask him to repay his grievances with good Dhamma. Just as Naruto was about to refuse, the system panel popped up again. Option 1. Refuse Shuemu's invitation and let him roll away in a daze. Don't surprise your nest. Reward: full-level fishing skills. Option 2. Accept Shuemu's invitation and steal the sealed book. Reward: rebirth of dirt, incomplete. At a glance, Naruto made a choice in his heart. Although stealing the sealed book can earn you an A-level ninjutsu shadow clone, you can also learn the incomplete version of Dirty Earth reincarnation. But what's the use of the incomplete version of Dirty Earth reincarnation? Using this move requires a live sacrifice. Eating without taste is a pity to abandon. At present, Naruto does not have anyone particularly interested in resurrection. Although the allure of the shadow clone is indeed significant for him, getting involved in troublesome matters will also appear very passive in the future. Teacher Shuemu, forgive me for refusing. Naruto's voice was calm. What? Shuemu was a little surprised. It seems that he never expected Naruto to reject him. In his impression, Naruto has always been the kind of impulsive and simple-minded crane tail. Why? Naruto, this is a precious opportunity. If you give up, you will definitely regret it in the future. Teacher Shuemu, you don't need to waste any more time talking. Naruto glanced at him. My mind has been determined, and it's meaningless to say anything more. Don't you want to become stronger and be recognized by the people of the village, Naruto? Mizuki was still struggling in the final stages. Ah, don't do that kind of thing, it's so troublesome, Naruto said indifferently. Since I was young, the people in the village have not liked me. Continuing to fool around will only make others dislike me more. Upon hearing this, Shuemu also choked for a moment. After a while, Naruto, don't you want to know why everyone in the village treats you like that? Mizuki's voice rang out again, with a hint of seduction. Are you saying I'm a fox demon, right? Naruto's voice had no emotional fluctuations and he lazily said to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, holding a fishing rod in his hand. The nine-tailed demon fox that destroyed the village and killed the villagers. You. How do you know? Shuemu took a few steps back and said in shock. Please, I'm already 12 years old, not a 3-year-old child. Naruto turned his head and stared at Mizuki. Mizuki teacher, I have long ears. I grew up in the village and have been disliked since I could remember. I have very few friends. The shop owner always has a gloomy face when he sees me, and the villagers around me are no exception. I also want to buy some fresh vegetables and live in the sunlight like a normal person. But I am destined to huddle in a corner and watch my peers come home from school to eat. Teacher Shuemu, you've also been isolated before, haven't you? You must understand. Suffering is not a treasure, it's just unavoidable. I was bullied and no one spoke for me. But so what? I'm not a fox demon, everything has nothing to do with me. I'm just myself, Naruto Vortex. Shuimu. Why are you? You already know. Aren't you dissatisfied with this village? Naruto withdrew his gaze and focused on the fishing rod under the moonlight. The hook hung underwater, creating ripples around it. He didn't know if the person who asked this question was Mizuki himself or the person behind the scenes who controlled Mizuki. Are you dissatisfied with the village? Of course he was dissatisfied, but he couldn't say it. At least not now. After a long time, a mechanical synthesized sound appeared in Naruto's mind. Effective at full fishing skill level, a grass carp was caught by Naruto, and his voice also sounded. The sound appeared calm in the night sky, as if harmonizing with the night breeze. I don't know. Chapter 7. My Few Friends. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shuimu eventually left, and Naruto continued to sit by the river fishing. With the blessing of a full-level fishing buff, soon Naruto successfully caught a large basket of wild black fish. Adding the 2 grilled and eaten ones before, Naruto actually doesn't need so many big black fish. There is no refrigerator at home, and it will also break down if taken back. At first, Naruto just wanted to try out how effective the full-level fishing technique was, but the result was far beyond his expectations, as he kept fishing from the moment he lowered the hook. Even if there is no bait on the fishing hook, an empty hook seems to continuously feed the fish as long as it is held by Naruto's hand. What prevented him from continuing fishing was not time and stamina, but the fish basket, which was even higher than his waist, was already full and couldn't hold it at all. Even the fish could easily jump out with just a slight struggle. Looking at the basket full of big black fish, Naruto fell silent. It's definitely not realistic to bring it back. The refrigerator is broken and cannot be stored. Sell it. That's also impossible. There is no fish shop in my village that would buy the fish in his hand. Not only do they not know how to buy, they may even suspect that Naruto stole it from somewhere. Based on the principle of not provoking reckless disasters, Naruto gave up selling. There's only one way left: send someone off. He has very few friends and can count them with one hand. So, the question of who to give it to hardly requires much hesitation. The Hinata clan will definitely not accept his gift, rule it out. Teacher Irika is a single dog, but after all, she is good to herself and should give away a few more. The Dingxi family was too far away, and Naruto decisively gave up. Lumaru can be given as a gift, could you please give it along? Chunai Sakura and Inoue were all excluded by him. At present, Naruto's relationship with them is not very familiar, and suddenly giving them some strange things will only cause trouble. Is this Naruto's newly developed ninjutsu? The gray-haired little old man, the third-generation Hokage monkey flying sun slash, was staring at the scene inside the crystal ball with a happy smile. This is the favorite voyeurism technique of the 3 generations, and everything that happened to Naruto by the river just now was captured by the 3 generations. Ri-Jean, you are too weak. A cold voice sounded, if Renjuli harbors hatred towards the village, it will be devastating for the village. Tuanzang, Naruto has made a choice, said Sandai Hokage solemnly as he touched his gray beard. He was not bewitched by water and wood, and he refused. Even if Crystal Ball can't hear any sound, I believe it's not difficult for you to know what Naruto said. Renjuli suffered too much unfair treatment in the village, making it difficult to reconcile the conflict between the villagers and Naruto. If we cannot resolve it, Jiuwei is likely to reappear. Ha! Tuanzai was a bit resentful. You hand him over to me, and I promise he will become the safest weapon in the village. Upon hearing this, Ape Flying Sun Slash became displeased and his face immediately darkened. Tuanzang, I am the Hokage. I understand all the things you did, Tanzo. You can do it yourself. Naruto is an important companion in the village, not a cold weapon. There are already enough weapons stored at the root, so you don't have to worry about Naruto's affairs. Faced with the warning from the third generation, Tuanzang was clearly dissatisfied, but at the same time helpless. Sitting in that position was Ape Flying Sun / not his Jitsuan Tuanzang, which almost became his demon. For generations of Hokage, 3 ninjas, Kakashi, and even the current 9-tailed pillar power. These people have a close relationship with the third generation, and the position of the Hokage may even only be passed down in their hands. 3 generations of this old guy, wanting to change the entire Kiba village on his own is really a dream. This is not Kiba village where his monkey flying son killed a person. Rigian, you will regret it. Tuanzang threw down a sentence and left with a slamming door. Sigh. Ape Flying Sun / didn't say anything, just let out a soft sigh. Outside Nara's house. The 3 bangs on the door shattered the tranquility, and the one who came to open the door was the scarred first think tank of Konoha, the dog-headed military strategist Nara Kazuki. The door was opened, and the bright light inside the room surged out like threads, hitting Naruto's feet. Looking at Naruto, who was covered in a fishy smell, Kazuki appeared somewhat surprised. Naruto. Why did you come? Isn't tomorrow the school graduation exam? The reason why Lugio was so surprised is mainly because Naruto rarely comes to his door. Even when looking for Lumaru at the door, no matter how much he was greeted, Naruto refused to enter. Just a person standing far away in the shade of a tree outside the door, curiously and nervously looking at the Nara house. In the eyes of others, Naruto may be a mischievous child. But Lugio was aware of the inferiority and sensitivity in Naruto's personality, so he never said to Lumaru not to play with Naruto like this. Upon hearing this, Naruto showed a brilliant smile and reached out to push the remaining fish frame towards Kazuki, shouting loudly. I caught too many fish in the past few days, I can't eat them or store them, so I want to give them to Lumaru. There are 5 or 6 fish left in the fish frame, which is already after delivering to everyone, leaving only the Lumaru family. Zhaoshuyuan.com, Lugio scratched his head and looked at the fish in the basket, feeling a bit embarrassed. Uncle, I need to ask Lumaru's mother. The sound of stir-frying came from the door, and Lumaru followed the sound as he walked out. He peeked out from behind his father and glanced at the fish frame, and his eyes couldn't help but brighten. Naruto, you're really amazing. How did you catch so many fish? I don't know either, Naruto scratched his head and said with a silly smile, maybe I have a talent for fishing. The deer on the side couldn't help but feel a little moved upon hearing these words. As a young child, I can't believe that my fishing skills are so skilled. It took me a lot of hard work to develop them. The big black fish in the mountains are very smart and it's not easy to fish with bait. Lugio once tried fishing, but the Air Force gave up after a few attempts. Naruto, please wait a moment. Lugio left a sentence and turned around to return to the house. After another half day, a box of dim sum and a box of food were put into Naruto's hands. Lugio looked at Naruto, who was a bit confused, and said with a smile. This is our thank that you gift, please make sure to accept it. Naruto looked at the deer for a long time, then lowered his head to look at the 2 boxes of food in his hand, and then turned his head to look at the deer Maru on the side. Take it, Lumaru said nonchalantly, holding his head. If my mom knew you didn't answer, she would probably feel guilty and couldn't sleep all night. Thank you. Naruto smiled and said hello, then turned around and prepared to leave. Naruto. Lumaru suddenly called out to him, don't oversleep for tomorrow's graduation exam. Got it. Naruto waved, seemingly listening. Until his back disappeared into the darkness, Lumaru's worried expression did not improve. Chapter 8. Graduation Full Score. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's a headache, I don't know how long it will take to eat so many fish. Lumaru bent down and played with the black fish in the fish basket with his hand. Naruto must have been working hard by the river for a long time to catch these fish, Lugio said as he rubbed the scar on his face. I also caught fish back then and didn't catch a single one during that time. This child, if I invite him to dinner, he will definitely be rejected, and I don't know if he likes that thank you gift. Don't worry about this kind of thing, that Naruto guy is just like that, said Lumur lazily. Dad, you'll put pressure on people. What are you talking about, kid? Damn it. Naruto is used to loneliness. Sometimes, although he feels like he doesn't care about many things, being invited to family gatherings can only make him feel cramped and sad, right? Lumuru stood up and said. Nara deer remained silent for a long time, thinking about Naruto's background and falling into a long silence. The next day, the ninja school graduation exam began. The school gate is much livelier than usual, with most parents accompanying their children for graduation exams, bustling around the school gate. Before the start of the exam, it is generally necessary to clear the venue to prevent parents from making too much noise and affecting the normal progress of the exam. Naruto arrived at the school early and sat on the swing under the big green tree, only to jump off and walk over when he saw Hinata passing by. He didn't wear that orange jacket today, but a regular black short-sleeved one. The cotton jacket was too hot, and he still didn't have the courage to wear it out. Hinata, good morning. Morning, Ming. Lord Naruto. Hinata was startled and her face instantly turned red. She avoided Naruto's gaze and stuttered in a low voice, responding. This is for you. Naruto took out a small gadget from behind. That is a small wooden carving, vividly carving the Q version of the embryonic field. The wooden carving is only the size of 3 fingers, making it exceptionally cute. Did Naruto personally make it? Hinata blushed, but her gaze could no longer shift away from the small wooden carving. Well, it happens to be so. I'll give it to you. He doesn't know anything at all. He started learning woodcarving with his master as early as he could remember before traveling, and he never stopped during the winter and summer vacations of the spring and autumn 15 years. Hinata's face turned even redder as she took the wooden carving and whispered her gratitude. I remember Hinata's grades were always very good, right? So we need to work hard on the exam. After leaving a sentence, Naruto waved and turned to leave. Nine-tailed approval 2.2%, the system is indeed not easy to deceive. A wooden carving can make Hinata blush, but the system seems to have detected Naruto's behavior of brushing points. The system conducted a fair evaluation of Naruto's delusional behavior of exploiting loopholes. Although the repetitive plot is effective for Hinata, it is ineffective for the system. Indeed, you still need to put in your heart, Naruto said to himself. During this period, Hinata was still very cute, but more introverted than in the animation. Wearing a jumpsuit and a small figure with ear-length short hair. Although her voice is a bit quieter, she is also very polite to people and has a perfect wife-like personality, making her a perfect young lady in all aspects. To be honest, Naruto couldn't figure out how Hida could be liked by such a girl. What exactly is Hinata trying to do? The graduation exam is conducted separately in a classroom, and before that, the reference students will be gathered in a large classroom waiting for their names to be called. The exam is starting. Irika's serious voice rang, and the school's electronic bell also rang at the same time. The exam time is very short, only one subject is selected from the 3 body techniques for the exam. And the Naruto class happened to be in the first exam, and a few people finished the exam in 10 minutes. There are not many people who can get the forehead protection, about 1/3 of them look like it. And this is just a graduation exam. To become a true ninja, you still have to pass the test of the leading teacher. Chunai Sakura. Arrive. Naruto caught a glimpse of a pink rush rushing towards the neighboring classroom like the wind. He happened to be sitting at the door and could easily hear Irika's voice. The art of clone. Yes, Teacher Irika. Very good, excellent. Haruno Sakura's excited voice came. Thank you, Teacher Irika. Is it a clone technique? Naruto murmured, carefully recalling and realizing that it was not difficult. The qualified standard is to have a clone with almost no flaws, and to have two is an excellent level. If it's a perfect score, then the conditions are very strict. For example, as Naruto demonstrated in the clone art review exam yesterday, it is difficult to distinguish between real and fake 3 clones. There are only 2 people in the entire class with perfect scores, Sasuke and Naruto. Sasuke was mentioned and called his name. Before leaving the classroom door, he turned his head and glanced at Naruto sitting by the door. Naruto raised his eyebrows and didn't say anything. Naruto Vortex. After about half an hour, Naruto was finally called by his name. Surprisingly, Naruto drew a stunt double. This is a highly challenging ninjutsu, and although it is also one of the basic ninjutsu techniques, its difficulty is one step higher than that of transformation and clone techniques. Zhaoshuyuan.com. Mainly due to the speed of printing, the assessment criteria for stunt doubles are one fast and the other accurate. Fast is the test of the speed of printing, it is definitely the test of the perfection of casting spells. It is not difficult to be qualified with dedication, and hard work can also achieve excellence. Hey! Someone got a stunt double. The class shouted loudly, and with a loud bang, those who had passed and those who had not passed the exam all gathered around the front and back doors of the assessment classroom. What kind of bad luck did Naruto have? He actually got the rare stunt double in 10,000 years. Lumaru muttered, frowning slightly. Naruto's strength doesn't matter which course they draw, they all fail. But after eating the fish caught by Naruto yesterday, Lumaru suddenly felt a sense of guilt in his heart. I secretly thought to myself for a moment that no matter how funny it is, I cannot laugh. This is not a joke, it will deduct merit. Ha ha ha. I hope that guy doesn't turn out anything strange. Inoue laughed happily from the side. While laughing, she patted Lumaru's back and said. Do you still remember that guy's stunt double last time? He transformed into something that was half human and half wooden, ha ha ha, it gave me a laugh. Lumaru didn't react much, shrugged and said. That guy Naruto is like this. Although he has been working hard, he still can't use ninjutsu. The exam didn't take too long, and Irika's hesitant voice sounded with a hint of hesitation. Full marks. What's the perfect score? Inoue looked at Lumaru with a questioning look. How do I know? Lumaru looked indifferent, teacher Irika didn't pronounce his name. Naruto Vortex, perfect score. Chapter 9. Dreams. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Full score. So impressive, Sakura murmured for a moment, Naruto seems to be a bit different from before. Ino was stunned and thought to himself, I've really seen a ghost today. Why has the crane tail become so powerful now? Cut, that guy. Inazukaya turned around and walked away with a white puppy on his head. As a member of the 3-person skipping class group, thanks to Naruto being at the bottom, he was able to avoid having poor theoretical grades. Sasuke looked at it for a long time before turning around and leaving, with a accustomed indifference in his eyes, reflecting the lush trees at the end of the corridor. Sasuke, can we have a meal together after graduation? The girl walked out from the corner of the corridor, nervously pinching her forehead, obviously just passing the exam. I have something to do, let's find someone else. Uchiha Sasuke is a proud person who doesn't allow himself to stand still and is planning to go back and double his training. The hatred of extermination drove him to live, and he had no interest or hesitation in refusing anything else. Xiaoying watched the scene of the unfamiliar girl in the corridor being rejected by Sasuke in the crowd, with mixed feelings in her heart. Suddenly, a hand slapped her shoulder, startling her. Inoue, what are you doing? Hee, don't look anymore. Sasuke-jun won't go out on a date with you alone, Inoue looked at Sakura proudly. For some unknown reason, Naruto's annoying face flashed through her mind, and her despicable voice echoed in her ears. Sasuke doesn't like women. Women. People. Ah. Damn it. Ino squatted on the ground with his head hugged for no reason, putting on a mask of pain on his face. After successfully passing the graduation exam, Naruto's life returned to the right track once again. After a 3-day break, Naruto simply stayed at home for 2 days. Naturally, he did not meet Kiba-Maru. On the last day of the holiday, Naruto was sleeping soundly. The sunlight shone over the window lattice, warm and cozy on his body. Suddenly, a dazzling light made Naruto frown and open his eyes. A dark member wearing an animal mask crouched on a tree trunk outside the window, with cold eyes shining through the 2 holes, and his voice devoid of any emotion. Lord Huiying is looking for you. After speaking, Naruto was not given a chance to react, and the dark ninja instantly disappeared into place. Naruto stared at the ceiling for several minutes before confirming that someone had just arrived. However, where did you go? Go. The sun is really warm and comfortable, just like soaking in hot spring water. Hot springs. The sound of even breathing rang out, and Naruto fell asleep again. When I woke up, it was already dark. There were no lights on in the room, and a dark figure sat at a desk, flipping through Naruto's cultivation plan. The rustling sound of flipping pages under the dim light suddenly came to a halt. Awakened. Naruto. The old and familiar voice sounded, with a hint of gentle and kind meaning. At the moment the light is on, the light illuminates the entire room. Sandai Mufei Rijan sat at his desk with a smile, turning his head to look at Naruto with a smile. On the table was Naruto's brand new forehead protector, diary, and recipe. Lord Hokage, Naruto shouted as he rubbed his eyes, feeling drowsy. Didn't he used to be called Grandpa Hokage? Sandaimu was stunned for a moment and laughed heartily. What's wrong? Becoming a ninja makes him unfamiliar. Hee hee. Naruto scratched his head with some embarrassment. I am already a qualified ninja. It's not appropriate to call me that anymore. Upon hearing this, Ape Flying Sun smiled and gave up, then asked. Did you forget something today? What's going on? Naruto looked at him with confusion, thinking for a while before realizing that the dark ninja seemed to have come, and asked him to look for Sandaimu. Ah. I forgot. You little devil. Really? Sandaimu glanced helplessly, but it's normal for you to rest. Is Lord Hokage looking for me for anything? Naruto asked. This is not a big deal, is it? Said Monkey Flying Sun I want to ask Naruto about his future dreams. My dream is to lie flat, Naruto said without hesitation. Lie flat. 3 generations were puzzled. It's about living a stable and relaxed life, Naruto explained. Have young people become like this now? I can't keep up with the times anymore, Sandaimu joked to himself. Wasn't Naruto's previous dream of becoming Hokage? What is life like after becoming Hokage? Is it happy? Naruto asked. Well. Sandai Mufei Rijan coughed and said, he's usually a bit busy, and sometimes Muyi Maru complains that I can't be with him. But in order to protect the village and its people, this responsibility will drive me to continue moving forward and even sacrifice my life for the village at any time. I think I am probably happy. Oh, this is Lord Hokage's life. It's really tough, Naruto said as he sat cross-legged on the bed. But I don't want to live so tired, and I don't want to be looked at with strange eyes anymore. People like me have to consider whether the store owner will sell me vegetables even after eating a fresh meal. Even if they become Huiying, there won't be any change. If Naruto becomes Hokage, he will definitely be loved and admired by the people in the village in the future, advised Sujihiro. But Lord Hokage, I'm pretty good now, Naruto said, holding his head. I don't make any mistakes. Gradually, I become an ordinary person, and everyone will forget their hatred towards me. Although I don't know why so many people are hostile towards me, I want to become a ninja and probably won't receive such looks again. Sandaimu wanted to say something more, but some words choked in his throat, but he didn't have the face to say them again. He understood that it was his negligence that made a child become what he is today. Rome wasn't built in a day. Naruto is naturally optimistic and his appearance is clearly due to years of hostility. To change Naruto's attitude, it may require gradual guidance in the future. Naruto, if the enemy invades the village in the future, they will harm the people around you who care. What should you do then? Asked Sandaimu. Naruto thought for a moment, then looked at Sandaimu and said seriously. I don't know. 3 generations left. Without further ado. Naruto sat at the desk where Sandaimu had sat, caressing his forehead, his gaze gradually becoming indifferent. Although this system appears to be a lying flat system, it is actually inwardly convoluted. Naruto can lie flat, but his strength will continue to grow stronger. Why not lie flat when there is an easier way to become stronger? Lie flat on oneself and internalize others. In this terrifying world where power is paramount, without power, one can only be slaughtered by others. Tomorrow is the day to assign the team leader, Kakashi. We will meet soon. Chapter 10. Ninja World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Naruto struggled to get up early. After 3 consecutive days of rest, Naruto almost forgot that he was still a ninja. In this world without a phone and with a computer that he couldn't afford, there were hardly any entertainment activities. Naruto couldn't understand that there was electricity in the world of Hokage. Moreover, this electricity is not generated by human lightning, but is a tangible civilian electricity. This proves that the technological level of this world has entered the era of electricity, with electric poles, televisions, refrigerators, and even air conditioners, washing machines, and dryers everywhere in Kiba village. Naruto's current situation is that he is an orphan receiving subsistence allowance. He has no background, no money, and no ability to endure. The old refrigerator at home had already broken down, and Naruto scratched his head for half a day without knowing how to fix it, so he harvested a few bottles of expired milk on the first day of his journey. But Naruto's rescue funds are also relatively generous, as long as it does not involve the purchase of large objects, it is still not a problem to meet normal life. The General Relief Fund will stop dispersing from the moment Naruto becomes a ninja, and then he will have to rely on various tasks to become self-sufficient. After arriving in this world for half a month, Naruto has gained a rough understanding of the technology in this world. The development of technology in this world is relatively weak, and there is a feeling that the technology tree is crooked. The emergence of ninjas has driven the development of technology, while Chakra's incredible energy has also hindered the progress of technology in a certain way. For example, the third generation ape flying sun slash, which has 5 chakra attributes, does not require a lighter to light cigarettes, and the monitor only needs a crystal ball. The power and convenience of ninjutsu have led people's attention to territorial struggles and battles. Since the establishment of Konoha in the first generation of the ninja god, the Ninja World War has been fought countless times. Under the war, technology is difficult to achieve rapid development. Due to the fact that ninjas are the protagonists in this world, technology naturally revolves around the development of ninja needs. For the convenience of communication devices within the village were also established, but cross-border and even cross-village communication systems are very outdated due to sensitive intelligence issues. When necessary, technology will also give way to ninjutsu. What makes Naruto more concerned is not only the distorted technology tree of this world, but also the level of weapons in this world. The ninjas almost always use traditional cold weapons, and even more advanced ones are the chakra short knives used by Kakashi's father, Kibabaya. Or it could be a weapon that transforms into a telepathic beast, such as the third generation ninja beast ape demon. Furthermore, there are 7 ninja swords in the hands of the 7 members of the cursed Wuing village. On the contrary, there seem to be some divine artifacts such as the grass pheasant sword, the 10-fist sword, and the Tianzi spear, the golden rope, the 7-star sword, and the red gourd left by the 6 immortals. By the time they appear, they will no longer be able to defeat the bloodline cheats that are scattered everywhere. What about hot weapons? It seems that besides the Scorpion, a member of the Shao organization born in Sha'in village, who has a strong heat power, the Shura road made by puppet masters in Pain Road has various tracking missiles and even laser cannons flying randomly. The development of hot weapons seems to rely on the group of puppet masters, and although high-tech weapons such as chakra armor and even airships and steamships with steam age characteristics have appeared in the distant snow country, limited by geographical location, there are still large painless launchers led by cold weapons. Kanemura village also has aircraft, fortresses, and carrier battle groups. Even though this carrier battle group is not nuclear-powered, it still has a certain level of deterrence. Overall, so far, this world has been affected by factors of war. The long-standing conflicts among major ninja villages have made it difficult to achieve peace. Under this premise, as the main force actively preparing for battle, ninjas naturally have a higher status than technology. Technology is currently unable to develop independently without ninjas and is still very limited. The emergence of ninjas changed the world's landscape, and the Cold War era also limited the development of technology. After washing up, Naruto looked at his sleepy self in the mirror and couldn't help but yawn. Throwing the toothbrush into the cup ended the daydreaming in the bathroom. When I got dressed and arrived at the ninja school, there were already many people in the classroom. The late arrival of Naruto still caught the attention of some people, but no one came forward to say hello. Everyone is discussing who their upcoming teammates will be, who their team leader will be, and the ninja team will be in groups of 3. Since the end of the Second Ninja War, the role played by Sanonori as a medical ninja in the team has been recognized by senior management. To some extent, having a female medical ninja in the team will greatly improve the team's survival rate and task completion rate. Since then, the tradition of pairing 2 men and 1 woman has been preserved. Kiba explained it this way to the outside world, but Naruto understood that this was just a part of Kiba's explanation. The more embarrassing reason for finding Shuyuan, www.zhaoshuyuan.com, is that during the year-round wars, the people of Mai have almost run out. The ninja village itself is a militarized camp, and wars involve indiscriminate charging and fighting. It is clearly unrealistic to have a female medical ninja in a 3-person team. So, after Tsunade proposed the idea of a small team consisting of 2 men and 1 woman, the senior management of Kiba was not moved by it. Some senior executives even believe that this is an overly idealistic idea proposed by Tsunade after his younger brother Sugiki's death was too sad. But years of war ultimately forced senior officials to accept Tsunade's proposal, and the high casualty rate had left Kiba with few people to send to the battlefield. In the end, even teenagers had to go to the battlefield. Without medical ninjas, even old and weak women may have to hold on to the battlefield. Naruto, aren't you curious about what kind of person your companion would be? Ding Ci pushed Naruto, who was stunned by the dead fish's eyes, and asked. I'm not curious at all, Naruto said wearily, holding his head. Even if others are nervous, why do you 3 join in the fun? As he spoke, Naruto's gaze swept over the 3 of them, Kazumura Tinji and Inoue. If I were Lord Huiying, I wouldn't break up the pig-deer butterfly group in the village. Upon hearing this, Inoue made a cut and complained. Team up with the 2 of them. It's so annoying. Excuse me, Lumaru muttered. Hee hee. Ding Ci seemed very happy, perhaps so he didn't have to separate from his childhood friend Fei Xiao. Perhaps due to their upbringing, Lu Maru and Ding Ci never saw Inoue as a girl. And Inoue seemed to have been staring at Sasuke all along, with a carefree personality like a little boy.